Thanks again, Olivia, for joining me today. To start us off, do you want to maybe speak for a minute about just who you are and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Olivia. I studied computer science, cognitive science in college, but I actually dropped out of college and I moved to Berkeley to build out smart glasses for a little bit. But that was when COVID happened. So I went back to Canada, where I'm originally from. I started working at the startup called Wefunder, which is a fintech company. I loved it there. But I grew a lot and I thought I wanted to do something off on my own now. So that I quit my job there and I'm building a startup now.
Cool. And you participated in Neo's Accelerator program in 2022. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Cool. And why did you want to participate in that accelerator program in the first place?
So they market it as an accelerator for young people who are highly technical. And I was really interested in that because it seemed like it was a really small batch for technical founders where they teach you a lot of the business aspects of things. And the community aspect was what really sold me, but also the terms are great.
Yeah. The community aspect, like I guess, like, how did you get a good sense that they'd be able to foster a great community? Like, did you get to meet some of the other people that were joining the accelerator beforehand? Was it just like the team and like what they've done in the past and their track record gave you conviction that they'd be able to build a good community? Or I guess, like, how did you know?
They have a Neo fellow program and I've been to a couple of their events. So I've met a couple of the fellows, which is different from the accelerator. And they were all really nice, really smart and great. I think great people. So I thought that would transfer. So I came in kind of blind with the Neo Accelerator because it was the first time they've ever done it. So there was like nobody to talk to. So I actually also didn't meet any of the people within the accelerator before joining the accelerator, but I thought the Neo fellow program was done really well.
Neo is structured as a sort of a hybrid program. There's like 4 weeks in Oregon, I think. And then I think there's a period where you go remote and then 1 week in San Diego. Like, what actually happens at each part of the program?
Yeah, there's a remote portion where there's lectures that are online. You get some materials. And I guess it's just learning. You can ask questions about the lectures that happen. Where I think most of the learning happens is the in-person part in Oregon. So you meet all of the other members in the accelerator, and that's like, I think learning from each other helps a lot more than I guess like listening to lectures. So that's where I think I learned the most. But also they fly in a bunch of people in to give talks, and then you can meet them and ask whatever questions.
Yeah. What were maybe some of the talks on? Was it, I saw some of the mentors that were listed in the blog post. Is it really like fireside style where they're just talking about their backgrounds and their learnings from their time building companies? Or was it like specific topics that they wanted to cover during the program?
Yeah, so it's both. There's fireside style. But there are also just like, they have a PowerPoint up and it's a very specific topic. So it could be like, this is how you scale like the engineering or this is how you hire. So it could be super, super specific, but it can also be really general where they just talk about their background. Pretty varied.
And then for you, I remember reading the blog post. Did you apply as like a solo founder and join the program as a solo founder? Or did you already have a co-founder when you,
When I applied, I was a solo founder, but I found a co-founder right when the program started.
Gotcha. One of the things they mentioned in the blog post was that like they'd help you build a team. Did you see like other people in the cohort looking for co-founders? And I guess like how do they facilitate, I guess, like finding that like founding team or co-founders?
Not necessarily the helping you find co-founders, because I think you really need to know who your co-founder is. For my batch, two solo founders decided to co-found together because they got really close during Oregon. In terms of finding your like early team members, the Neo fellow like community is really good. So a lot of the other companies in the cohort managed to hire engineers from the Neo fellow community.
Gotcha. And do you know if people in your cohort were like part of other Neo programs beforehand? Like, did they pull a lot from like the Neo fellows or the other programs that they did and had them join the accelerator? Or was it mostly like net new people that didn't have too much exposure to the community already?
I think majority was net new exposure. I think maybe 15% were from the community or something like that. It's like
Gotcha.
ballpark estimate.
Yeah. And then what happens like the last week in San Diego? Is that really like the demo day, or is it just another time to like, again, like hang out with the people in your cohort?
Yeah, that's more of a demo day. You can present to a crowd of investors or people that you're trying to hire,
Yeah.
if you want to. So I guess that's more of a demo day, but it's not. The emphasis isn't really on hiring. Sorry, the emphasis isn't on raising. And that's because like we got such a huge amount from Neo as part of the accelerator. So the emphasis there was like just like get the word out, or if you're trying to hire, because you have all of these Neo fellows, young engineers in the crowd.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to hire them, you're trying to like entice them.
Yeah. Do you have a general idea of like how big this demo day was?
All of the accelerator, most of the accelerator people presented. I think there were maybe like 300 to 500 people.
Yeah. And is this sort of like a YC demo day where you like the old YC demo days where you get up on stage and you pitch for, I don't know, a couple of minutes, or how is it actually structured?
Well, I've never been to a YC demo day, so like I can't speak for it. But
Yeah.
what happened was you just go up, you give a presentation about your company for a couple minutes. You're like mic'd up on stage, and then you just go down.
Gotcha.
That's
And what was maybe like the most valuable piece of advice that you received during the program?
Sorry, let me think about this.
Yeah, you're good. No rush.
I guess to not rush things. Like there's so many things to think about, and this is like a marathon.
Yeah.
So yeah, not to rush things and to overlook certain important aspects,
Yeah.
because they might bite you later on. And to like really understand your business and like the entire part of your business.
Yeah. I guess like how did you learn that? Was that a one-on-one with someone in your batch? Was that advice from one of the mentors? I guess like when did that click for you?
I think it was slow and gradual, and it's like from
Yeah.
the members of my batch just chatting, and like as we're all trying to figure out how to build a business for the first time, it's like
Yeah.
things that we've slowly learned and then like propagated throughout.
Cool. So you mentioned like Neo is basically targets like recent technical founders, and you found that like very appealing as a reason like why you want to apply to the accelerator in the first place. In hindsight, do you wish there was like more people with like different skill sets or further along, or do you think the structure is still really good? Like you think it's great to be around people of a similar age, similar skill set in a batch like that?
I think the people was great. I think
Yeah.
the people was great. I think they're also switching this up a little bit where for my batch a lot of people came in without an idea. So I was
Yeah.
like in terms of the business it was a little too early. But I think they're switching that up now where it's like you have an idea, you have a little bit of progress. So everybody's at the same stage when you meet up in Oregon. Because during my batch, a lot of people were in different stages. So when we were in Oregon, you couldn't really learn from certain people in the batch just because like they were at a different stage.
Yeah.
But in terms of the people, like young technical founders, I thought that was great.
That's great. Cool. And then can you talk a little bit about the team? So Ollie and some of the other people on the team that you worked with, I guess, like how do they maybe help you during the program?
Yeah, so I mostly talked with Ollie. I talked to Eric Goldman now, sometimes as a mentor, and like I think they're great. So like I'll go to them for like any small question, and I guess it's like first of all they're like emotionally calm me down. I guess they're like, hey, look at the bigger picture, whatever, and they're able to help me find things that I'm blind to, and then you just give me like the proper advice of what I'm supposed to look at or like what I'm not looking at. So
Yeah, cool. And then now that you're finished with the program, I guess like how do you engage with the community still?
we still have full access to Slack, and there's like a little channel for just the accelerator batch. So like we chat in there, we ask for help, or we just like send memes, and then we have access to the greater Slack. So if you need anything from the greater community, so this could be for hiring fellows, or it could be asking like questions for any of the other companies that are in Neo's portfolio. So they don't have to be a part of the accelerator. If Neo invested in them, they have access to the Slack, and then you can ask for help or like ask for needs.
Cool. And then what advice would you give to someone applying to Neo?
You should definitely apply, and I guess just have fun.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
a long ride, I guess.
Sweet. And is there anything else that maybe I didn't ask about that you think is important to know about Neo?
No, I think that's good. It's been a while.
It's good. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me today.